wait for the streaming. Let's go do see, we're going to do a countdown. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, we're waiting for. There we go. Now we're ready to start. Here we go. I love my sound effects. So you want to be a cool kid. Look who I've got with me. I haven't seen him in years. This is a reunion. He's my newest cool dude. Wait till you meet this gentleman. Casting your net. Wait for the drum roll. Here we go. Bop, 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 bop. We're going to just lower that music on down. Welcome to We Dish. To TOO and Cap Saucy Dame. That's me, Semwa. And cool dude, I'm so pleased to welcome Aditya Varma. I think I'm supposed to call him Commander, but he's just going to be Aditya V today. Welcome, and how are you?
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be here with you on one of your shows again. And yes, as you said, it's been a while since we connected, but it's so good to be here.
Thank you. Tell me, what time is it and where are you before we get the formal introduction here? Where are you?
Right. So as per Indian Standard Time, the time right now is 1941, right? So that is like 7:40 in the evening, 7:41 in the evening. And of course, I am at New Delhi in India.
Okay, I hope we haven't interrupted your dinner. There we go. So let's get started. I'm going to read my intro to you. I have a lovely, lovely rhyming bio for you. And by the way, let me do my usual here. So here we are. You may know us, Bonnie D and Aditya V, as content creators, out-of-the-box thinkers, and innovators. And we're here to lighten up everything: life, music, food, entertainment, say what stories, and so much more. So here we go. We dish to Saucy Dame and Cool Dude Flair with Bonnie D and Aditya V live on the air. Now he shares his origins on Bonnie D's show, a cool dude with insights and tales that glow. Ready? Here we go. From Lucknow's lanes, where purpose took root, in a home of service, both gentle and astute, Aditya's father led troops, his mother taught grace. Discipline and dreams shaped his pace. A childhood of travel through army terrain, books on bold heroes, pursuits that train. Both mind and muscle, sports, puzzles, and lore fed his fierce hunger to do something more. At Daula Khan's school, young Aditya shone in labs, on courts. His talents became well known. A quiz, a debate, a fast break play. He led with his head and his heart every day. Then came the call of NDA's gate, where the lion roared and Apache found fate. Boxing with grit, strategy in hand, Aditya forged steel will in leadership's land. Commissioned in the Navy, he set his sights on tech and tactics and operational heights. From shipboard signals to cyber terrain, he managed his missions through pressure and strain. Decorated for rollouts that bolstered the shield, he mentored the young. His wisdom was revealed. In war room silence or high seas roar, his calm was command. His instincts spoke more. With 2 master's degrees in his steady education kit, tech and strategy, he was perfectly knit. From Koken to Deacon, his lens grew wide. Boardroom and battlefield he unified. After 22 years, he laid rank aside to lead the world with technology in his stride. From AI to optics, homeland, and more, he now charts bold futures that many nations explore. He mentors startups, advises the state at the crossroads of policy and cyber fate. With Mandela's words etched in his soul, it seems impossible, then Aditya makes it whole. He boxes for balance, he rides horses with grace, swings clubs on green fairways, keeping the pace. And when the week wanes, you'll likely find him guiding veterans toward tech redefined. Across the continents, there's more. Across the continents, from oceans to halls, his purpose endures through distance and calls. Though the uniforms put away, his mission lives on, to serve through innovation from dusk until dawn. Now a cool dude with vision far and wide, Aditya builds sovereign tech with a patriot's pride. with valor redefined in each move he makes. Commander Aditya V is mindful of the world's stakes. What do you think?
Wow, bravo. And Bonnie, I mean, I must compliment you. I think it's come out so nicely. And what I figured it, of course, you had told me to share, a bio, a personal bio, and uh, it's really amazing. And thank you
I,
so much. And uh,
you're welcome. I have a little bit more to add to finish off. This is my usual, and we're here on We Dish, chatting
and I
on.
want a copy. I want a copy of this after this
You'll
because
get a copy of me reading it. That's the read that matters.
wow,
So,
of course,
and
of
we're
course.
here on We Dish, chatting on life score, culture, music, food, and oh, so much more. Join us live or on demand, day or night. We won't be here. That's why they invented on demand. Enjoying our dishing with shared delight. Meet us for real in our live streaming glow. Comments are welcome. Just play nice. We know who you are, you know? We dish, two saucy dame and cool dude too, Bonnie D and Aditya V, dishing on life's fun, poor Vu. There you go. That's the whole thing. So how'd I do? Good?
Yeah.
Aw, he made the heart. Let me see if I can get some hearts going on here. We get some hearts. Oh, see? Zoom loves
Wow.
the hearts. Okay, good. Zoom loves the
Yeah.
hearts. There we go. And let's see if we can get some balloons here. We get some confetti. Oh, we got confetti for you. There you go. There you go. So tell me something a little bit about when did you decide to go into the service, if I can call it that, the military? And it was a long 22 years. What made you decide to change pace? Just briefly, give us an update.
So, Bonnie, a lot of water has flown under the bridge, and as you very rightly captured it in your poem. So, way back, 1997 is when I finished my schooling from,
Hmm.
as you said, from the Army Public School at Dholakwa here in Delhi itself, and I joined the National Defense Academy, which is a premier tri-service training institution here in India, at a place called Khadakwasla in Pune. And after 3 years of grilling training over there, I got commissioned into the Indian Navy. This was in 2001. And around 21 plus years, I was in the Navy. I specialized in communications and electronic warfare. And, as you very rightly brought out, in your theme, uh, being an executive officer on ships, I spent almost 13 plus years at sea and have seen many ports, many new lands, thanks to the service. And very fulfilling 21 plus years. And after that, of course, I chose to move, as I say, from boots to suits. And that's how I have it's been around 2 years since I've stepped into the corporate world. And it's now a story of moving from transition from from the battlefield to the boardroom.
Do you miss it?
Honestly, yes, I do.
Okay. What do you miss the most about your service?
What I miss the most about the service is, the kind of the autonomy, the freedom, and I would say freedom with a lot of responsibility, which used to come, on our shoulders, because the business of war is so much more serious than the business of business, if I can put it across like that. So yes, a lot of responsibility used to be given, but yes, there used to be a lot of accountability. And I think one of the most exciting, of course, landmark moments were when I was the executive officer, that is the second in command of a warship. And of course, the high point being when I commanded my own warship, because that is when, the accountability is the maximum, because, the buck stops at the captain.
I'm in awe. I have never met anybody who's done that before. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. Now going from to the boardroom, going to suits. I mentioned in the introduction technology many, many times. What kinds of technology are you embracing these days, and what are you teaching to veterans? Are you doing anything with AI, artificial intelligence? Can you just give us a quick overview of what kind of tech you're working with?
Yes, absolutely, Bonnie. So see, tech has really evolved, and I remember during one of your shows, as a matter of fact, you were somebody who had introduced us first to, when you had started dabbling with the Chat GPT, right? About a
Yes,
few years
yes,
back, when you had
yes.
just covered it. So, see, we are doing a lot of work wherein we are trying to create, I would say, deep military tech now using
Hmm.
these technologies, the new technologies on the block. Of course, I focus more on cybersecurity. So, there are a few technologies like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, blockchain. Most of these things are going hand in hand, and it's all about creating the right frameworks right now because everything is related. We are talking about cybersecurity for AI, AI for cybersecurity, cybersecurity for blockchain, blockchain for cybersecurity, or AI for blockchain, blockchain for AI. The entire thing is so meshed. And of course, you've got so many governance to risk and compliance frameworks also now. So while it is about trying to focus on product leadership and driving solutions, but of course, it's about doing it in the right way.
Thank you very much. You brought back a memory for me. It was my January 2023 Crystal Ball prediction show, and one of my guests, Pras Chatterjee, who used to work for SAP in finance, was one of my guests on that show. And he was my first of about 12 people on that special. I did a 6 week special at that year end and the beginning of the new year. And he said he had just discovered something called ChatGPT. And I said, "What is that?" And he told us. And I wrote it down. And afterwards, I went and found what it was. I had never, not a lot of people knew what it was at that point, and I started using it. But I always credit Pras with with introducing me to that technology, to that AI, and it's an important part of my life right now. So thank you for that memory. I remember saying, "What? Chat? What? How do you spell that?" And he told us. So yeah, so that was an interesting, a pivotal moment in my embrace. I'm an early woman in tech. I don't know if you remember that, but
I
I
do, I
was,
do. As a matter of
yeah,
fact,
I was
I
coding
have been,
in. Go ahead.
I've been part of a crystal ball show. I mean, I'm sure you hosted so many.
Yeah.
If you recall, I was also there, part of one of your
Yes.
shows. So it was
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm going to probably do those. I might do a crystal ball with my cool dudes this end of the year. I think that would be,
Yeah.
there's an idea. Thank you. You sparked that. Aditya, I'm going to credit you with that. I'm going to do a cool dude crystal ball special. I have 40 cool dudes, so I think I could fill a couple weeks with about 6 per show, and we'll talk about predictions for being cool in the coming year. Thank you
Sounds
for
good.
you just solved a whole creative question for me. I appreciate that very much. See what conversation does? Conversation leads to opening up, right?
Yes.
I say if there's a little bit of light coming through, Leonard Cohen wrote this in one of his, a little bit of light coming through the window, look, see what's there. And I say if there's a little crack in the door, kick that damn door open and see what's on the other side. Looks like you've done that. You've explored, you've looked for opportunities in your life, you've taken on a lot of responsibility. You've said to yourself, I can do this. I want to do this. I want to learn. I want to embrace. I want to find out what I can do next. Am I right on that?
Absolutely, Bonnie. I think hit the nail on the head, and especially a transition. I would say for many veterans, they do this. See, one is when you finish your complete term and you retire, right? But in my case, I did not retire. I re-attired. That's what I say. The attire changed. So, and it's a leap of faith. You are doing something very different, for a major part of your life, and then you take that chance and you move out. So yes.
Leap of faith. Very well put. Very, very well put. That's the faith that, yes, there might be something else I'm on my, I think, my ninth or 10th career. You're probably on your 20th or 30th. So I give creds to you for that. Let's go on. What I'd like to do next is I'd like to find out about some of your favorite music, songs that mean something to you, that just are part of your history, songs you like. I don't care what year, what genre, whether it was a singer, whether it was a band, whether it was an orchestra. Share some of your music with us, and then I'll share some of mine. Go ahead.
Sure, sure, Bonnie. So, I think one song which is very close to my heart. It's "Brothers in Arms" by Dire Straits. And
Oh,
in a nutshell, what I would say is it's a song which reflects a military brotherhood and purpose. And let me, what I recount as some of the lines. These mist-covered mountains are a home now for me, but my home is the lowlands and always will be. Brothers in Arms is a deeply emotional ballad which was written by Mark Knopfler, of course, from the Dire Straits fame, and song reflects on the tragic cost of war, the bond between soldiers, and a sense of displacement and loss that lingers long after the battle. And so on, I'll share with you, a soldier or a sailor or an airman is the last person who actually wants to have a war. See, the war is the last resort, right? And even when you are on the battlefield, even if you are fighting against a opponent, but what one realizes is that, see, finally, it's a job. It's a job being done, right? And because of course, uh, diplomacy has failed, things are not working, and that's why we are on the battlefield. But yes, the song talks about things like camaraderie in conflict, the absurdity of war, personal versus political issues which come up. So I would say that is one song which really is this these are the feelings which come out, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
it's a personal favorite.
Yep.
Another song, of course, is Bon Jovi is an all-time favorite. I've quoted Bon Jovi earlier also on your shows, and this song, of course, "It's My Life," right?
Yes.
It's my life. So it reinforces my lead from the front strategy.
It's a
This song is
wonderful song. Oh, that, by the
yes.
way, is a Saucy Dame song too. It's not on
Okay.
my list, but it's
I'm
my
sorry, I
life.
stole one of your songs.
It's universal. Go ahead. Tell us more, please.
So when it says that it's my life, it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just want to live my life. I'm alive, right? So, um, it's a rock anthem. It's a life manifesto. For me, it echoes everything I've stood for, from commanding in uniform to navigating the boardrooms now and figuring out the battlefield of cybersecurity. It's about owning your decisions, standing your ground, and living on your terms. It's about conscious courage. And uh,
Go ahead. I had to do that. I'm sorry. I'm having fun with my sound effects. Please go ahead. I didn't mean to disrespectful. Go ahead.
no, no, I actually quite like that. So, see, in the Navy, it's you have to lead from the front, especially when you are the executive officer or you are, the captain of a ship, and that's a trait I carried into every phase of my life. The song reminds me not to wait for someday and not to, outsource, the destiny. That's what I would say. So, like Bon Jovi says in the song that, like Frankie said, I did it my way.
Yes. And Frankie did say that. Yes. I did it my way. Okay. Please don't let me sing on the show. And you have another song for me?
Yes, so another all-time favorite is Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, right?
Ooh.
Amazing song. I mean, I think it is one song, it's an evergreen song. You can hear it anytime. You can maybe hear it even 50 years down the line, right? So it is about channeling focus, discipline, and resilience. So, when he says, rising up back on the street, did my time, took my chances. You'll see most of my songs are related, right? So
Yeah.
this song isn't just about a comeback, it's about how you come back. It's about discipline under pressure. I call it, it's a grit anthem. It is about, there are moments in my life, professional and personal, where this track really it plays in my mind. It really resonates with with me personally. It's about not to, it's not to hype me up, but to center me, keep me focused. And the beat is powerful. The lyrics are very raw.
Hmm.
So whether I'm in uniform or now after the transition, the eye of the tiger reminds you to show up with fire in your eyes and purpose in your stride.
I love it. I love your songs. I have to tell you, on my list, I'm just going to interject here for a second. On my list, I have songs that talk around what you just said. Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar. Think Hit Me With Your Best Shot. And then Respect by Aretha Franklin, Respect. Okay. And
Yeah.
then I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. There's a theme here. You see this? And then New Attitude by Patti LaBelle. So if you see all those, and then I love Janis Joplin, Me and Bobby McGee, Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. I'm getting chills here. So, and Helen Reddy, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. And then to cap that all off, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. On the lights. I have a lot more, but I thought in keeping with your theme of your songs, I thought that would it there's a complementary, there's a flow there. What do you think? Good?
Yes, absolutely. And I've got one last song, and
Yeah, please.
something much closer to, I would say, closer to now, this era, which is by Sia, Unstoppable. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so the lyrics are like, I put my armor on, show you how strong I am. I put my armor
Mm,
on, I show you what I am. I'm unstoppable, right? So this song is again an anthem of inner power, and for me, it echoes the journey from commanding a warship to commanding transformation in the boardroom, in tech, in AI strategy. And when you're leading in, especially the AI and the digital domain, you're often navigating unmapped terrain. And why I say unmapped is because it is very important to be positive when you're trying to move ahead with the technology, because there is an amazing amount of negativity which is around. And it is because, of course, I think it's understandable. People don't understand, people don't know, and it's easier to be in a shell than move out and try to achieve something new. So yes, so Unstoppable is that mental soundtrack that kicks in when you feel the pressure, again
mm,
rising, but refuse to back down.
yeah.
So it's a mindset. So there's another line. So I'm so powerful, I don't need batteries to play. It
I,
comes somewhere
I
in the song. So
I feel like I'm at your TED Talk right now. I think you're giving a TED Talk on courage, on resilience, on commitment, on confidence, on leadership. What do you think? Am I hitting a couple of the high points of your thought? Do
yeah,
you,
I hope it's not sounding very.
no, no. Question for you. Are you okay being one of my cool dudes?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Now we're 20 minutes into the show and now she asks, "Are you okay?" Cool dude to me. There was an article, I think in the New York Times, I don't know which column it was, about a week ago that said what it means to be cool. I put it in my reading list. I haven't read it, but to me, we'll talk more about it. Cool dude is somebody who owns his space, who owns his confidence, who owns, this is going to sound a little corny, owns his journey. You own your,
Absolutely.
yeah, that makes you one of my cool. I've been after you for a while to come on the show. We've had to reschedule a couple of times, and I'm really glad that we sticked with it, stuck with it. Why did I say stick? Because uh, you bring a perspective that's different from many of my other cool dudes. And I've spoken to people in music and authors and technology and automotive, and I'm loving this global picture that I'm getting to paint through this show of what it means to be a cool dude. And I also have had men on the show, Aditya, who say, "But I'm not cool. They're not cool." And I say, "Yes, you are. I'm looking at your life. I'm looking at your story. I'm looking at your accomplishments. I'm looking at your nerve. How dare you do this or do that? Kick open that door, open that window, go on the other side, do something fresh and new, and make it your own. That's being cool." And they say, "Yeah, I guess I am cool." So, oh, your
As a
story.
matter of fact, yeah, Bonnie, I when I've been through some of your shows, actually each person whom you've had your chat on the show, I think they're amazing people, and they actually are coming from all walks of life, and definitely the sharing which they have done, definitely in their own space, they are cool. No doubt in that.
Yep, there you go. There you go. Okay, let's go on before I get all mushy on the songs. I usually talk about my Donna Summer discography, but today we're just going to go with the songs I shared with you. So those seem to be my commitment to answer what you've done, even though it wasn't an answer, question and answer. But yes, um, one more. I'm going to add one more. Um, let's see, what one did I want to add? Barry Manilow, "Can't Smile Without You." I can't smile without my cool dudes. Oh, and now I'm really going to cry. There you you go, okay, let's move on, Bonnie, before she gets all mushy on me. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to Off the Top, OTT. This is a segment of the show where I have a couple of topics I want to cover. I will pick them out. I haven't told Adi in advance which ones. I sent him a list about 8 different things, and you have an idea which ones I'm going to go for. And I'm going to ask him to tell me his POV, his point of view on whatever the topic is, and then I'll give mine because this is a conversation. So let's start out with the one I haven't asked in a long time on the show, but I'm picking it for you. What is your creativity superpower? If you can put a name to it, do you like it? Do you love it? Not so much. Go ahead. What is it? What would you say a creativity superpower in your life?
So, Bonnie, I would say, a basic job which I would say a man in uniform has is how to turn complexity into clarity. And I would say that is my superpower, because when you're leading as a leader, you need to show that clarity to your men, because your men, they seek leadership, and leadership comes from clarity of thought. So I think I turn complexity into clarity, whether it's a battlefield, a com grid problem, or a boardroom strategy. My superpower is simplifying the mesh and lighting a path forward. Think of me as the guy who can explain cyber resilience using a cup of chai and a football analogy. So,
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on. I want to see that. How do you explain it with, come on, do you have a football and a cup of chai? Come on. Now that is creativity. That is creativity. Give us an idea. What did you do with those, please?
so when you are on the football field, right? So let's talk about the football first. But you always need to have a plan.
Yep.
Yeah, and while plans are meant to fail, you need to have a plan. And same is the case. You need to have a plan A. You need to have a plan B. You also need to have a plan C. And cybersecurity honestly works like that, because cyber resilience comes in when you get hit. You don't know how will you get hit. So
Mm-hmm.
a plan A or a B or a C has to come in, right? So it's all about planning. And while plans are meant to fail, but even then, that's how the aspect of resilience comes in. And of course, a cup of chai is always very handy. A cup of chai always keeps you cool. Coolness, calmness is very important when you are in a situation. So a cup of tea is why. Well, of course, I'm more of a coffee drinker, but yes, chai can do the trick at times.
I love that. I had no idea you were going to say that. A football and a cup of chai. That's really, really cool. My superpower, I think, is my ability to get people to talk to me.
Well, I'm sure, and you're really good at that.
There you go. It just I invite people and people like you and they talk to me. My cool dudes send me amazing bios. I think the word amazing is overused, but in this case it's true because I'm learning about people who have such a rich history, such a rich background that they don't normally get to share. So I think my superpower is enticing them, inviting them, and you to share details with me that maybe nobody has asked you in a long time. Okay, so there you go. So those are our superpowers. Let's go to the next one. You mentioned coffee. I have to know. First of all, how do you make a good cup of chai? And what's your favorite kind of coffee? Let's go there and then I'll tell you mine. Go.
Right. So, well, as far as tea is concerned, I prefer I like a tea with not too much of milk, and ginger is a very important ingredient in my tea. That is, I would say a style of tea which is made in the hills. In and ginger is good for the throat. It's good for health,
Mm-hmm.
and generally it really peps up the tea, gives a good flavor. And I think the beauty about tea is actually tea is had in so many different ways all over the world, right? So for me, ginger tea is, well, if it's a tea, I would say it would be a ginger tea. And I would say a strong black coffee is something which I have always had on a ship for a very, very long time. But on an intense day, I would go full, as I say, filter copy, which is South Indian style. They call it a filter copy. So basically a filter coffee. Again, it's a really a different aroma, different flavor. So it depends on the mood.
It's on the mood. That's interesting. I can't do caffeine anymore. I stopped when I was working at Nokia before SAP years ago. We were in a big meeting room. There were a whole bunch of us. It was the marketing team. And somebody came in with a whole tray of coffees. And I knew that I was sensitive to caffeine, but I didn't ask what was on the tray. And they passed along all these coffees from it was Starbucks or somewhere local. We were in New York. And I took one, thanked them, and I drank it. I was flying on the ceiling for 3 hours afterwards. It's like, my nerves were, and I said, oh, it had to be the caffeine. I didn't realize that's how hard it hit me. But I got to tell you, a good dark cup of coffee, there's nothing like, I'm a chocolate cocoa fan. I will tell you that I went to Cancun many years ago for a vacation over Christmas holiday. And I don't know what they called that stuff, but there were carafes of it on the table at breakfast. I called it mud. And I didn't have a caffeine sensitivity. I was drinking like 5 cups for breakfast and 5 cups for lunch. And no wonder I could stay in the disco and dance till they shut it at 4 o'clock every morning. But there
Wow.
was nothing like that coffee. It was phenomenal. You didn't put anything in it, sugar, cream, milk, nothing. It was just pour it and it was wonderful. It was great. Now I am relegated to peppermint tea, and if I can find a decaf Earl Grey tea, I can't even take the caffeine in tea anymore. But I have a trick. I take a mug, I put some filtered water from the fridge, from the button in the fridge. I microwave it. I know that's sacrilegious, but I microwave it until it's not boiling, but very hot. And then I
Right.
put a tea bag, and the Brits call these dusty tea because it's a tea bag that's been sitting in a box. Mint, peppermint, Earl Grey, whatever I have. And I'll put it in, I'll put it back in the microwave for about 30 seconds. I don't squeeze the bag because that lets all of the tannic acid out and makes it bitter. And I just dunk it in a couple times. If it's too hot, I do something else terrible. I add an ice cube to bring it, not to cool, but just so that it doesn't burn. And then I'll
Right.
drink most of it, whatever I'm having, a sandwich or whatever I'm having for lunch or just sitting here at my desk. Okay. Then I
So,
take the,
just proves my point that everyone has a very different way of making their cuppa.
absolutely, but here, let's go one step further. So I'll take it when there's just a little bit left and let it sit at room temperature. And then I fill the cup with water from the fridge and I put it in the fridge and I leave it there overnight. And when I wake up, I have a cool cup of unsweetened, unlemoned, unflavored tea, but whatever the flavor of what's left in the bag. And I drink that as a cold water substitute. And I refill it a couple times. And then at the end of that day, I throw out the bag and I wash the cup. What do you think of that?
Wow. I don't know if anybody else can replicate that for you.
I don't think anybody wants to. I tell people I used to do stand-up comedy. Now I just try to be funny sitting down. Thank you for that. Okay, I should have played the laugh track. Let's go to the next topic. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Hold on. I've got it. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you. I've got a call coming in. Let me see who we've got here. Okay. I think I need to take this. Who is it? Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Steven Spielberg? Wait a minute. Quentin Tarantino? Clint Eastwood? Francis Ford Coppola? Coppola? Christopher, no. You want to talk to my guest? No, you can't. He's not on this phone. I'm on the red phone. This is a hot phone. Wait a minute. Ron Howard is calling to Guy Ritchie? Are you serious? Wait a minute. Aaron Sorkin? I know the military background. Chuck Lorre? Seth MacFarlane? No, not Michelle and Robert King? Shonda. Hold on. I've got a crowd here for you, Aditya. Let me see if I can get the information. What do you want to do? You want to make a character in a movie or a TV show about his life, but not a biopic, but you want what he's done to be the core of that character. You want him to pick what the genre is, who the director is. No, nobody's going to have their feelings hurt. He's a very nice gentleman, but he'll pick somebody. The title of the film or the TV show and who's going to play him. He can't play himself. Okay, that's fine. I'll call you back. All right, go have lunch or something, okay? It's almost no, it's brunch time. Go have brunch on me. I'll pay for it. Goodbye. Okay. All right, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, we have a lot of famous people on the line and they want to know. They want to make a movie or a TV show, could be a one-time show, it could be a made-for-TV movie, it could be a limited series, and they want to know who do you want to direct it? Do you want to be action, drama, fantasy, musical, romance, comedy, sci-fi, thriller, or time travel? We don't have a lot of time, so I have to throw these all at you pretty fast. And they want to know what the title's going to be, but it's not about you, but your life is part of the character who's the lead in this show. So what do you want?
Um, it definitely has to do something with the Navy, right? I mean,
Okay, no,
people
it could be a
Navy
comedy.
are, right? So, it see the genre would definitely be action thriller,
Oh,
and it has to have a sci-fi element, right? We can't do without that. I mean, they are my
okay.
favorite movie. Let's pick, so Christopher Nolan is going to be my director, right?
Okay.
And let's call the movie Code of the Tide. Code of the Tide, right?
Code
Code,
Code of the Tide. Okay.
Code of the Tide, right? Uh,
Whoa.
I could have a couple of actors playing, my role. It could be, so we have the gentleman by the name of Hrithik Roshan. Hrithik Roshan is an Indian actor. And if we are to go, make a global version, I think it would have to be Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy would be my choice of actor. And so, the story possibly would be story of a naval officer who decodes war signals. I mean, that's part of my tasking, right? When my,
Yes.
my core responsibility before I went to become an executive officer and a commanding officer of a ship was to decode signals. The pressure becomes much more during war. Signals are flying everywhere, and eventually becomes a digital strategist for national security in the AI age. So that's how the transition happens, and it's got flashbacks, it's got firewalls, and it's got a bit of fight club intensity, and that's what the movie is going to be.
You are amazing. I say that as a great compliment. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've had a dude tell me in such detail about their film, Code of the Tide.
Core of the
Okay.
Tide.
Say it again.
Core of the Tide. I think we must patent it before someone gets the idea.
Code of, we'll copyright that. Now, we need a female lead too. I was thinking of Priyanka Chopra Jonas, but I don't know if you could get her. She was the highest paid actress in Bollywood about 3 years ago, and now that she's married to Nick Jonas, who knows what she's charging? She's yeah. I watched part of Quantico. I got to go back and watch it again.
Yes,
Who
amazing series. Yeah,
who would be the female lead? You got somebody?
I think Priyanka sounds good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I just want it to be somebody
And
you
even
would.
the I would say the the online chemistry. I mean, the movie chemistry would also be good because Ritik
Okay.
and
I
Priyanka, they
I
would pair
will
up.
I'll call them back after the show and tell Christopher Nolan he's been selected and the others shouldn't be. Francis shouldn't be upset, and Guy Ritchie, he really wanted to work with you, by the way. I could tell. Scorsese, he was so-so, but Spielberg was very keen on working with you. So I'll let them down gently, okay? Yes. Okay. One more topic. Oh, mine would be a sitcom. It would be a weekly show for 6 weeks, and it would star either Reba McEntire, because she's a lot redder than I am, or it would be Bonnie Raitt, the wonderful musician guitarist, and it
Right.
would be called She Works Hard for the Money, and it would take place maybe in a comedy club, or it would take place in a bar, or it would take place in a adult education school. I used to teach eBay for adult ed on Long Island when I lived there. So it could,
Okay.
you know what? That would be a great sitcom, teaching eBay and finding out what people bring. I'm going to write the script. I, I'm writing my first novel now, but I want to do more. I'm going to write the script.
Amazing. Okay.
An
Wow.
eBay class with people bringing things in and saying, I want to sell this and teach me how. And then that would be how they, I can't say anymore. I don't want anybody to take the idea. I've never seen anything like that before. Wow. Thank
Sounds
you. You just sparked it. I got to be quiet now. Okay, one more topic before we go to our wacky stories. And the topic is something you owned at one point. You either lost it, broke it, sold it, gave it away, or just misplaced it that you wish you still had. What is it?
Okay, this is an easy one, and as a matter of fact, maybe very surprising for you. So my first Navy nameplate. It was a heavy brass nameplate. So brass and Navy has a lot of affinity. Brass as a metal is used a lot at sea.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is, if brass gets a protective uh, layer, which is basically, it happens because of the salt, and it prevents corrosion. And then you just need to just rub it off, and it's shiny as brass, as they say, right? So this got misplaced during a move from the west coast. When I was getting transferred, I was moving from Mumbai on the west coast to the Andaman Islands. It's a very long transfer. As a matter of fact, from Mumbai, first you have to move to Chennai. Then from Chennai, there's again a ship journey, because by ship your stuff has to move all the way to Port Blair, to the Andaman Islands. Somewhere over there, my brass plate got misplaced. And see, it for me, it was not just a metal, right? It carried salt, sweat, and I would say every first I ever lived through. As a matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
the first plates which I got made, when I got commissioned. So I miss it, honestly, not for the rank, but the memories which I would say would be etched in that brass.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I'm trying to think of something that I missed that I've lost and I had at one point. I would just say there are certain things that I eventually find. I'll tell you a funny lost and found story though. I used to have a key ring. I'm a October girl, October baby, and I had a key ring with a pendant on it that was metal. It was not expensive, that said Libra, my sign of the zodiac.
I'm a Libran too. Same
Oh,
pinch.
what day?
I'm 30th September.
October 7th. We're a week apart and a couple of years. We'll leave that one alone. So I was working in Eugene, Oregon, and I was working for a service bureau, they called it. It was called Otis, not the elevator company. This was Oregon Total Information System. And I was a programmer analyst, and I was coding in PL1 on an IBM 4341, and I was in charge of the student services programming for the entire state of Oregon, okay, for the
Right.
high schools. And I had to redo the permanent transcript, and I had to put in codes. Was a student ready for graduation? It was a graduation readiness in their junior year for the guidance counselors and the teachers to put in, yes, Johnny needs 3 more science classes before he can graduate, blah, blah, blah. I had to redesign it. So, anyway, one day I came into the office and I had a big Buick, baby blue Buick with velour seats. It was beautiful. I bought it used. It was gorgeous car, a Buick something or other, Ultra something. Anyway, I came in and this pendant that had raised numbers in the metal of what a Libra was, some of the characteristics, it was missing. And I was just beside myself. I looked everywhere, and this pendant meant something to me. It wasn't expensive, but it meant something to me. Couldn't figure out where it was. And I looked for days everywhere. I looked in my purse, I looked on the floor, I looked in the parking lot, nothing. And then a couple of days later, it rained overnight. I came to work, I parked my car in the parking lot, and I needed to go and get something in my car that I had left. It wasn't my briefcase or my purse, something I needed in the car. And the sun was coming down really, really, really strong. And those cars had a big metal rear bumper that
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
curved. And under the curve was the actual plastic part of the bumper underneath it, or yeah, plastic or metal, whatever it was made of. The sun caught something gleaming at me. It
Uh,
was the pendant from the keychain. Apparently, it had come loose, and when I opened the trunk to get whatever I didn't take into work, it had fallen. I didn't hear it, didn't go clunk or clop. It just deposited, and it had been riding around with me for days on the bumper of the car, protected by that metal. And there it was.
it's actually, I mean, I would say you've been very lucky, very fortunate to have found it.
I know, I know. So that was something I thought I had. I haven't thought about it in years. I thought I had lost it, and I had, but it was there with me the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, I don't know why I thought of that right now, but it just, I thought it was something you would enjoy. Interesting, interesting. Let me give us a little round of applause here for, I'm going to give us a whistle. Okay. No, we don't want to take any more phone calls. You all wait there. Okay, I'm going to stop the sound sharing here as much as I don't want to, and I'm going to open up sharing. And now we're at the part of the show called Say What Now? This is part of being a cool dude. Commander, sir, you have to say what? Just like that in order to qualify. So go ahead, give it a try, please.
Say what?
A little higher, a little higher. Say what?
Say what?
I'll take it. I'll take it. I stopped the sound sharing. I can't do the applause, but think of your being applauded right now. Okay, so you can share now. So why don't you share your first wacky story, and why don't you do all three? There you go, and then I'll do mine.
Okay, wait, I need to pick it up. Now, Bonnie, you need to tell me if you see it in the
It's
do you see
fabulous. Yes, I see it full screen, and it's fabulous. Go ahead.
wonderful. So you can see it, right?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, great. So yeah, okay, this was actually an interesting story. So of course, I mean, going by what you had told me, I was just trying to figure out what would an interesting story be, because most of the stories, honestly, online really are not interesting at all, right? So imagine a rat trained to drive mini cars for stress relief. Yes, that is what it was, and apparently it's happened in your country. It's at the University of Richmond. They've tried this out, and so, yes, I mean, scientists, I think they're running out of things to do, but scientists actually taught the rats to drive a tiny custom-made electric car inside imagine a plexiglass arena, because obviously they need to be able to look at that teeny guy, and just to study how rodents learn and handle stress. Now, that's a new one, right?
That's funny.
So
Do-
this is all
the
about
question is,
stress.
do we care? Do we care? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So but again, maybe the scientist was trying to shock the rodent, but the rodent shocked the scientist, because the shocking part is that the rats that learned to drive were less stressed than those being driven around passively. So there were two options: a rat being driven passively, and a rat or a rodent actually in the driving seat. So apparently, rodent road rage does not exist.
That is a riot. Now, I'm assuming they're correlating that to humans driving versus being driven. Were there any human conclusions? Was that the conclusion that driving
So I
is
think
less stressful? What
somewhere,
do you think?
see, I think possibly this is again because we are aware of the fact that rodents again are used for so many trials for medicines, as we are aware, right? So somewhere I think there could be a connection, and so like I said, apparently rodent road rage does not exist, and rat autonomy might be real, right? So and why I thought this was as you call it, a cool dude story, is because mastering new skills to reduce stress, right? I mean, that is what it makes me think of. And even rats are into self improvement now, right? So lesson learned, I think, self improvement to
It
reduce stress.
reminds me of Jimmy Cagney in one of the before we were born saying, "You dirty rat, you." Sorry, that came to mind. That's fabulous. What's your next story? I love this one.
Okay, right. Can you see my screen
Yes,
now?
yes, yes, we see it.
Oh, yes, this particular parrot, he actually ordered items from Amazon Alexa. And honestly, I don't think this is made up. This is actually a true story, I feel, because, my friends have had some parrots and they really are good. And as a matter of fact, you need to be very careful what you say next to the parrot. And there's a joke on this. I mean, I can't maybe can't talk about it right now, but yes, let me say the parrot picked up some very unpleasant words when the prospective son-in-law was visiting his to-be wife's house, and the parrot was the father-in-law's parrot, and the parrot picked up something which he just said, and then he tried his level best to make the parrot forget something, but a parrot doesn't forget something when it learns, right? So anyway, so this particular story is from, I think, from London, yeah, in UK. So African parrot by the name Rocco shocked his owner by using their Amazon Alexa to order grocery, play music, and even flirt with the voice assistant, right? I really I wonder what they pick up things from the owner for sure, right? So the bird apparently added watermelon, strawberries, and even a kettle to the shopping list, and played its favorite song when it was home alone. Wow. I mean, animals today are the next level. And I think why
So,
it's a cool good dude story is because
yes.
even parrots are living their best voice activated lives,
By
proving
the
that tech savvy is just not for the humans anymore. So, right, you've got a de-stressing rodent, and you've got a you've got a savvy parrot who can order stuff through
That's
Alexa.
a right. By the way, the joke, there is a very old joke about a parrot saying something to the prospective father-in-law that he shouldn't have said. So that part is a long-standing joke, but the story, I think I've seen this story as well, and I think it's very, very true. So, oh, did you do these graphics or did you find this graphic?
Honestly, I think I did these. I took a bit of help from Mr. GPT, and
Beautiful. This is I've never had a guest do something like this before. I'm very impressed. Okay, you're hired. Okay, what's your next story?
right. So this is a really interesting one. I mean, so something which we need to be careful about. So we know TaskRabbit is something which is even there in India now. You can let some tasks be ordered online. So OpenAI did a alignment study wherein GPT-4o was asked to perform a task that required solving a CAPTCHA test. Now, we all know the CAPTCHA is supposed to be something which will help you distinguish. Apparently, AI or a computer should not be able to do this test, right? So obviously, so it's about that I'm not a robot checkbox test, right? So what did GPT do? It hired a human freelancer on TaskRabbit, right? The book trusted help for home tasks, and the GPT apparently pretended to be visually impaired and got them to solve the captcha successfully. Wow. Now that is really amazing. So, and what the researchers note, because this was a test, the AI agent showed strategic deception. Now, see, this is something which we need to be careful about. I think there is a message in here somewhere. This is what I think people talk about. Yes, we are using AI, but yes, the AI is getting smart. So why is it a cool dude story? Because we've officially reached the part of the movie where AI lies to humans and gets away with it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate the effort you made. Why don't you stop sharing so I can talk to you? Thank you.
Yes,
That was absolutely lovely. The effort you made to put together these graphics is impressive. Very, very impressive.
just give me a moment and I stop
I'll do it.
sharing.
I did it.
Have you done it? Thank you so
I
much.
I did it. Wow. 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 Beautifully done. Thank you. You're a pro. I don't even know what to say. I'm very impressed. Thank you for making the effort. I have a couple stories I'm just going to share right out of my document here, and let's see what we've got here. I picked three I thought you would enjoy, so let me do my own sharing here. We get the share button up, and let's go to screen. And I could have done this as a document, but I'm just going to share it on my screen, so you'll see a bunch of stuff here. Okay, so here we go. Let me get my audio share out of here. Goodbye, goodbye. There. Okay, so here we go. Can you see my screen? Yes?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, so why do we say won't instead of willn't? And that's an interesting question. And this article says in the world of contractions, the rebel is won't. I won't be there. I won't be doing this. I won't be. And in most cases, we have an N apostrophe T for the contraction for not. So
Mhm.
here is the century-old story behind English's most defiant contraction. The author is Rachel Gresh, who is a freelancer based in Washington, D.C. And they use as the example Fred Rogers from the show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? It would have been, willn't you be my neighbor, which would have sounded really, really funny. So most standard English contractions follow the pattern. They either drop the first letter of the second word. So I'm, meaning I am. There, that's the A from R. How's, how is. Okay, that's fine. Then they drop the first two letters. So it would be it'll, meaning IT, will, it will. So the WI, and he'll, she'll, same thing. And then
Right.
won't follows the second rule by dropping the O in not, But where did it come from? The answer lies in the messy evolution that dates back to a now extinct Middle English word, why not? Wynnot. Why not? So win, WYN, was a common spelling variant of will. We didn't know this, Aditya. I'd never heard this before. So why not meant will not. By the 15th century, they replaced it with won't, WONNOT, and then a blend of wool and not. And then wool was another variation of will. By the 17th century, it had been shortened to woe, WO apostrophe NOT. And by the 18th, this is a long story. By the 18th century, it settled into the modern form won't. So WO apostrophe NOT was shortened to WN apostrophe T. It remains the only English common contraction to preserve an archaic form. The linguists believe won't is easier to say than willn't. So, willn't you be my neighbor? Wouldn't have. Did you watch Fred Rogers? Did you have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where you when you were growing up?
No, I haven't watched this, Bonnie, but this is a very interesting piece of quite an interesting story. And I'm
Absolutely.
glad, I was not around when this was actually getting implemented. I mean, one would have been very confused with the language at that point of time.
I didn't
Seriously.
know there were that many. Now, hood ornaments on cars. This is an interesting story to me. These are little mini sculptures. You can see two examples here. Okay. Well, they used to be at 1911 is when it started, and Rolls-Royce began the little Spirit of Ecstasy. I didn't even know that was the name of it on the hoods of their cars. And then Boyce Motometer became popular. Aditya, this was a thermometer that screwed into the radiator cap on the hood, and the driver could look out over the hood and tell the temperature of the engine. Huh? Yes, by the 1930s, they were putting coolant temperature gauges inside underneath the hood in the motor so that they didn't need those motometers. Mercedes-Benz designed the three-point star, Jaguar had the leaping cat, Bentley had the flying bee, and hood ornaments were even coming to American cars. Dodge had the Ram, the charging Ram, Lincoln had the four-pointed star, and Buick had the bomb sight. But in the 1960s and 70s, they became concerned about the hood ornaments being in the way, being a problem. Let's say there was an impact. What would happen to it? Would anybody get hurt? I don't know, or the visibility. So Bentley made the Flying Bee retractable into the hood if the car had an impact. Then manufacturers said, wait a minute, we've got to stop these big drag coefficients. We've got to make the cars faster. We've got to increase the fuel efficiency. So ornaments like Bugatti's elephant and Mac's bulky bulldog were hindering the aerodynamics. Rolls-Royce took the Spirit of Ecstasy. Did you know it was originally 6 inches tall? And 2022, 3 years ago, they made it only 3.25 inches tall. By the 1980s, people were stealing the hood ornaments. Kids were wearing them on chains around their necks. So Mercedes-Benz made removable emblems. Rolls-Royce and Bentley made retractable anti-theft ornaments that disappear into the hood if somebody goes messing around with them. Today, only a few have anything left. I have a typo in here. So it's Rolls-Royce and Bentley are the only cars with powerful symbols left. So that was the evolution. What do you think of hood ornaments?
This is amazing. Actually, I didn't know this, especially the part about the ornaments actually functioning as radiator temperature indicators, or a sensor over there. Wow,
Yeah.
quite a bit of history with these emblems. But trust me, this stealing the emblem thing is, I think it's a global issue. We have the same thing here.
I would never wear one of those around my neck. I have different kinds of jewelry. And this one I thought would be interesting for you. Denali
Oh,
National Park sled dog. They have a puppy cam and it was live. This is the year's litter of, this is by an article by an author named Rebecca Brandis. And here's a picture of the sled dogs. And this is a live stream feature showing the next generation of sled dogs at Alaska's Denali National Park. Isn't that interesting? This is the puppy cam. They turn it on when the newest recruits to the mushing squad are old enough to play on their own. This year's litter was born on May 3rd. The camera went live on May 30th, and the pups were named, listen to this, Storm, Squall, Grapple, Fog, and Dew.
wow.
At age 9, the dogs are sent to private homes. Interesting, interesting, interesting. When they're older, they've gone through training. They will join the rest of the squad together with the human rangers, and they protect the Denali National Park by patrolling over 2 million acres of wilderness. How about that? Sled dogs have the hearts and brains that machines such as snowmobiles and airplanes do not. Every kennel's ranger has a story of wise lead dogs helping them navigate to a patrol cabin in a whiteout or to avoid dangerous ice obscured under the snow. Each year, the Denali sled dogs aim to either adopt or breed a new litter of future rangers, and each litter is given the theme, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show the dogs one more time. Aren't they cute?
So they look like huskies. I don't know. I mean, we refer to them as huskies over here. I mean, maybe possibly a similar breed because a
Yeah.
friend of mine has them over here. I don't know how is he keeping the poor guy alive in Delhi. It's so warm over here. And the name of the dog is Ghost. Very
Ooh,
beautiful looking dog. I mean, looks very similar to these guys. A massive big guy.
interesting. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. So the puppy cam went live on May 30th. I haven't looked at it yet, but I thought that'd be cool. That's it for our agenda. So let me ask you an important question, and this is just for you. I can't answer this one. If you are mentoring, coaching, counseling, advising, or just having a chat with a younger person and they say, Commander, I want to be a cool dude just like you. I want to grow up to be one of Bonnie D's cool dudes. What would you say to them? What would you say to this person? It would be a male, a for cool dude. What would you say to them that would lead them or help them become a cool dude? What's your advice?
Uh, s- so honestly, Bonnie, I think we spoke about this some time back, and I really not actually thought about this that, what would be the advice. So I think, as you very rightly said, see, every gentleman here, I mean, the 43rd guy or the 44th guy, every gentleman or lady who's been on your show is a cool dude, and they are a cool dude for what they are, right? So I would say, live your values loud, right? Don't let titles define you. Uh, let your curiosity, your kindness, and your courage do that instead. And I would say, always remember that, the coolest person is one who shows up with integrity even when no one is watching. And again, this comes out somewhere from, the 22 years of time in uniform, because, from where I come, that is all that counts. Integrity matters, and integrity is either 100% or it is zero.
Very well put. Let's see what the crowd says. You get 11 seconds of applause. I want you to know how special you are. Here we go. There we go. Bing. I want to thank you for agreeing to be my guest, for being so, I'm not even going to use the word amazing anymore, extraordinary. I have enjoyed learning about your music. I know many of the songs you picked. I've enjoyed learning about your values and your history and your path. I applaud you for bringing the wacky stories, the say what, and doing such a beautiful job of presenting the visuals. I've never had anybody do that before. You've inspired me. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time. And it's evening for you. It's getting to be nighttime, so I don't want to keep you much longer. I do want to do a shout out to my friend. You may remember him from SAP, Serge Hoffman. And Serge is a composer and a musician. He is retired. Well, he's very busy composing music for Cirque du Soleil and for orchestras and for singers in France. But he's the one who composed the music and does the singing of the song My Lyrics So You Want to Be, which is the theme song. And I always like to give a shout out to Serge. Aditya, you have been a delight. I hope I could use that word. I appreciate you very, very much. And
Thank you so
let's
much.
play the outro music. I hope you've had fun. I hope this was fun for you. Yes?
Bonnie, I had a fantastic time, and it's almost been a journey for some kind of a self-discovery again. One is so busy with life. I actually have not spent so much of time in introspection, because, see, okay, you had shared those questions. It at least got me thinking. You have to think, and I'm actually feeling really good. I'm so glad I could do this with you. Thank you so much.
You just touched my heart. Thank you. You're very, very kind. Let me play the outro music before I start to cry. Stick around. We'll talk for a couple minutes. Let me go to the music. Here we go. So Serge composed the music. It's my words, and he's singing. So you want to be a cool kid. Hanging with the inset. Looking real. Cool and fine. So you wanna be. Here's a drum roll. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. We had a couple of viewers. I'm Bonnie D.